Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Shoot 360. The future of basketball has arrived in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shoot 360 combines the latest sports technology with the fundamentals of basketball skill development. The result is a one-of-a-kind video game-like basketball program designed to improve your shooting, dribbling, and passing. Visit shoot360dfw.com to learn more and register for your free 1-hour workout evaluation. Shoot 360, the future of basketball is here. I think it comes down to the three levels of a player. Do they like it? Do they love it? Do they live it? The kids that like it, I mean, they can be great high school players. I have a ton of kids at Faith that like basketball, and that's okay. It's enough. There's some that love it. They put another level of time and care into their game, and they are interested in playing college basketball. But then there's a level to that. If you live it, I'm going to play college basketball. I don't really care. I care where, but I will do that. I cannot, my last game my senior year cannot be the last time that I put it on a jersey. And if that's it, then I believe that most players can achieve that dream, because there's Arlington Baptist right down the road with Coach Bubba Jennings, and they take 36 kids every year. And they have open tryouts basically open gym every Wednesday where you can go and fight for your spot. If you live it, then obviously I think the like it, love it, live it all work with Recruiting Simplified. But yes, the dream can happen for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just go a step further in saying, are you willing to play every level or any level? That doesn't mean that you're going to be the lowest level.
No doubt.
It's just a mindset of a starting point.
Yeah.
Because I've had a kid in my program who started by getting, a D3 and then an NAIA and then a JUCO, a full D1 scholarship JUCO. And I said, let's push the boundaries here, man. You've got the Division I JUCO. If this is about financial, let's go see if we can get a full 4-year at a Division II. Let's start reaching out to them. And it's not like you can't climb the ladder. I just think if you have zero recruitment, you should start at the lowest level that you're willing to play, and let's build the ladder.
And what that does too is it maybe helps the D1 or bust kids. Those ones that you've all heard that, or that bubble that they're trying to go towards. That is so hard. I mean, honestly, I think I didn't really have, my parents didn't know. Yeah. I mean, they did the very best for me. They were obviously invested in my dream as much as I was. But I don't know, if I would have had somebody that maybe kind of was guiding me a little bit more to look at fit. I had offers at a lot of places. The two biggest, and that's kind of I think where I was looking without even realizing, the two biggest was SMU and Baylor. SMU, my visit wasn't great. Baylor, Coach Bliss really sold me on it, but I knew nothing about the school. It's not like I had grown up, even though I was in Dallas-Fort Worth, saying Baylor's my school. I bleed that. That's my, and you know what? I wouldn't change anything, because my story, obviously, but played every game there, but went through one of the biggest tragedies and scandals of all time. Yeah. And made it through that. And now looking back, I'm proud of that, being a part of that foundation. But Akron, Santa Clara, Northern Arizona, there were Ball State. There were other places that wanted me, that who knows, man, maybe instead of scratching and scraping for 4.5 points a game for 4 years, not knowing any game from day to day if I'm going to play, I could be on an all-time list. I could have kind of those memories of basketball, which, playing in Kansas is cool, everybody, no doubt. But man, when you play a minute and a half or two, or you don't really some of the teammates you're around, or the coach that you're playing for, I just didn't think about those things. And so I think, again, the the questions that you're asking, like you said, it forces them to take a step back from just the basketball and think about more.
Yeah. Identifying who you are as a human being matters just as much as you identifying who you are on the court. So I'm going to segue right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Positional confusion is at an all-time high right now. Okay. Everybody put 6'7" point guard in their profile. If they, like, it's unbelievable to me, the position confusion. I'm very, very blunt and straightforward with this. If you put something like that and your position doesn't correlate with your highlights, you're going to be written off as someone who doesn't have a clue. And I'm not trying to be rude. That's the most loving thing I can actually tell you, because if you reach out to DM and say, "Hey, I'm a 6'7" point guard," the coach is going to be like, "Oh my God, who doesn't want that?" Like, there's not many Anthony Blacks walking around here. Okay. Who doesn't want that? And he looks at your highlight and all you're doing is setting screens and rolling. Come on. Like, you're going to be written off. No, I'm not responding to that. Come on. That's a waste of my time. If
what you want in your heart and what you really are on the floor, different. Yeah. Can't be.
What'd you say?
Oh, I said what you want in your heart and what actually you're doing on the floor, like those can be different sometimes.
Yes. And that, look, and that's why I try and be very objective about this. Like, if you're going to give yourself the best chance to stand out, it's okay to do what you do. Like, I am a 5'8" shooting guard. I was not a point guard. I ran off screens. I'm pretty sure no one wants a 5'8" too. But, I knew who I was, right? And understanding who you are is half the battle. So identifying the personal fit and then identifying who you are on the court, those two things are really hammered through the first couple modules in the program.
Let me ask you about what I see a lot, and I think it goes to positions, which is combo guard. Mm-hmm. How useful or positive is it to have a status as a combo guard? In your opinion, what is a combo guard? And should you be more specific rather than putting that down?
I would always say the more specific you can be, the better. I do I have a quiz in my course, and it's like, what position are you? And combo guard is one of the positions. So I just think kind of playmakers at your best. You can spot as a point guard, but that's not where you're going to help most. And I think more just of a playmaking guard. Doesn't really specialize in shooting is kind of my envisionment of a point guard. But I would always say, like, if you are a very defined facilitator, it's much better to say point guard. If you are a really, really good shooter, like, own that. That is one of the most translatable things in the game. So yes, college coaches, I think combo guard is sometimes very like a divisive subject, right? It divides people. So get as specific as possible. But at the same time, if your highlights are you kind of playmaking, sometimes making a play off the ball or in a ball screen situation, I understand how that can go. So the thing that can't happen is you say point guard wing, or I don't like shooting guard wing. Like, either you're kind of a small forward, this versatile guy who really gets after it on defense and can slash, or you're a guy who's a focal point of scoring. Like, just you got to be more specific. Did I do a good job there?
I'm a center point guard. Yeah,
not a lot of Jokic's, Rock.
And that's around. What I think I saw on Twitter. Somebody just make a comment about the combo guard and made me think. It's like, are you saying something that makes people go, "Oh, that could be valuable," or are you saying not really a point guard, not really a shooting guard, not good enough to do that job, not good enough to do that job? Because like I felt like that as a player. I could play point, but that dude's definitely better than me. I could play shooting guard, but he's better than that. I could play small forward, but he's 5 inches bigger than me. Like, you want to be careful, in my opinion. And that tweet or that kind of thread that I started reading made a lot of sense. And to your point, with your height, with your weight, with your stats, like with everything, be specific because if, in my opinion, if they come to a practice and you've been saying 6'3" and you're 5'11", you're 6 foot, like you know, you're going to be found out.
Yeah. I would just say make it correlate. Like if you're averaging 13 points a game, your 3-point percentage is around 34%, and you're averaging 2 or 3 assists, you're probably a combo guard. You do a little bit of everything. And I think that can be owned, but it has to correlate. Like correlating to your height, correlating to your highlight videos, correlating to the story you're trying to tell. It has to be, or you're not gonna be taken seriously.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.